Hey, welcome to the broadcast. This is Dr. Kesha for actually part two. This particular video is going to be pertaining to the hurricane relief, how we can help, places that you can volunteer and donate. So, this particular video is specifically concerning that. And also, I want to feature some unsung heroes. I'm sure there's a whole lot of unsung heroes. Unfortunately, there are people that are taking credit for rescues they did not do, and it's just weird to me how someone can do that. So we want to feature a couple of unsung heroes, in addition to highlight some of the organizations that actually have boots on the ground, so they're actually helping people directly. Because in a situation like this, it's kind of hard to find like a reputable agency that will properly allocate funds to these areas, because the areas, again, it's hard to, like, money alone is just not going to hit it right now. People have need for water. Like, you can have millions of dollars, but if you don't have water, you know what I mean? So again, we have to make the main thing the main thing. We have to prioritize the priorities, and these people's lives are at risk and they're at stake. And now we're out, what, how many days now? So some of these folks, we really do hope and pray that they're okay. And that's another thing that we can do, is we can continue to pray for these people. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and highlight a couple of things. First and foremost, I want to shout out YouTuber Christina Randall. And so I'm going to use her video to help to highlight some of these unsung heroes, more specifically this gentleman and those that assisted him and his team in literally saving folks' lives. And there's a whole lot of unsung heroes out there, just regular civilians that are getting their hands dirty, their boots dirty, and they're really going out there and they're helping people from different states, different regions. I mean, that are crossing the border, helping whoever they can help in these communities that are in dire straits, or communities that used to be. The people are the community. Let's be clear. Though these towns or these areas are no more, but the people and the spirit of the people are still alive and well. So we don't want to say that these communities are devastated because of the destruction, but as long as there are people living from that region, from that area, they can keep on keeping on. I know that there are some folks that have been approached by people to sell their land and all this crazy stuff. Listen, that just lets me know where people's heads are at. It's really about the rescue right now. It's really about helping people. It's not about capitalism and how much you can gain from their calamity. You know what I mean? So let's just keep the main thing the main thing. I would admonish or want to encourage people, and I know they don't have the internet right now. These people are literally fighting for their lives. Those of us that have the internet are people that are not directly impacted, or they're not in dire straits as were the people that are currently going through. Those people that are going through, they can't really tell their side of the story. So these are people that are speaking on their behalf and sharing their stories. But please don't sell your land. Don't sell it. I don't care how lower to the ground it is. You can always rebuild again. I would not sell it. I would not. And to me, it's pretty whack to even offer something like that right now. Like, people are mourning. Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? People are start trying to find their loved ones. People are trying to seek for refuge and food. They're trying to survive right now. And you're thinking about a capitalistic venture? Like, get out of here. Anywho, let's highlight some of these unsung heroes. Again, shout out to Christina Randall. Shout out to her. All right, so let's listen.
Of them that are posting on social media, and they are not too happy with the way that things are being handled.
My name is Jonathan Howard. I'm a member of the Florida State Guard Special Missions Unit, and I'm also up here with Aerial Recovery, a nonprofit. I came up here on Sunday with Aerial Recovery before we even got activated. We flew up here, and then we got activated, which was great. I have my team up here working as well. Here's the problem. I'm going to tell you everything that's happening from the ground, what I'm actually seeing, because what they're telling you is complete bull on the news, and these politicians don't clue and they're lying. And I'll say this now, I'll say it at the end of the video. The only thing I need from this video is helicopters. If I have helicopters, I can save lives. Without helicopters, I can't reach these people. It doesn't matter how many chainsaws and trucks I got, I can't get to them. They're 10 miles in, 20 miles, 40 miles in the mountains. There's no way to get with them or even communicate with them. I am literally flying around in a civilian helicopter looking for SOS messages carved in the mud or painted on the ground, and we're dropping down and saving them.
Okay, so let's make sure we give credit to where credit is due. This gentleman is from Florida National Guard, and he is partnering with another organization, and they're doing this together. All right, again, he's from Florida, Florida National Guard, and he is coming, he's volunteering his time and his resources to try to help these people. I'm trying to catch his name, so let me start it over again. Guys, sorry about that. Hold on.
Them that are posting on social media, and they are not too happy with the way that things are being handled.
My name's Jonathan Howard.
Jonathan Howard. So remember that name, because unfortunately there are people that are, I want to say they're from the government, that are trying to literally like take the credit for what these people are doing. It's just slimy. It's really, you didn't do it, and why are you taking the credit for something you didn't do? Like, it's just again, to God be the glory, like these people are being saved. But for someone to go out of their way and take the credit for it, it is just slimy. It's just slimy. So just maybe want to put his name out there once more and again.
I'm a member of the Florida State Guard Special Missions Unit.
Copters in things are being handled.
My name's Jonathan Howard. I'm a member.
Jonathan Howard. All right. We applaud. Thank you, Jonathan Howard and team and others that have volunteered their time and their gifts, which is the helicopter and all the other things that they're using to try to reach these people. We applaud you for your service. You guys are true American heroes. All right, so let me speed it up. Let's go back.
With aerial recovery, before we even got activated, we flew up here and then we got activated, which was great. I have my team up here working as well. Here's the problem. I'm going to tell you everything that's happening from the ground, what I'm actually seeing, because what they're telling you is complete bull on the news, and these politicians don't clue and they're lying. And I'll say this now, I'll say it at the end of the video. The only thing I need from this video is helicopters. If I have helicopters, I can save lives. Without helicopters, I can't reach these people. It doesn't matter how many chainsaws and trucks I got, I can't get to them. They're 10 miles in, 20 miles, 40 miles in the mountains. There's no way to get with them or even communicate with them. I am literally flying around in a civilian helicopter looking for SOS messages carved in the mud or painted on the ground, and we're dropping down and saving them. What got me fired up about this was yesterday, me and my team did the rescue of that 11-day-old baby. And all these government officials and social media, they're showing that video, that pictures and video of that rescue, and claiming that like they have some like government helped with that. And I mean, even USA, I think it was USA Today, wrote an article about it saying it was a Florida National Guard that went and got it, like with a helicopter. No, it was me, my buddy Charlie, and a civilian named Zeb with his own personal helicopter out of Wilmington, North Carolina. Like, without that civilian, that baby would be dead. And the old lady we went and rescued after that, she'd be dead too, because she had 1 day left of oxygen. That no one was going to go get them. I will tell you, when we go up in the air, I probably see 40 civilian helicopters, and I might see 2 Blackhawks, National Guard, military, whatever they are. That's it. No one's out there doing rescues. I have my entire team up here from Florida right now, and they have no ability to go rescue these people other than what they can drive to. And the people that are in dire need, they're out in the mountains. They are completely cut off. Everybody wants to pretend like they're being the hero while these people are literally fucking dying in the mountains. And these people, like I'm saying, these people are limited medication, they're running out of oxygen, and there's no one going to get them. The most effective way I have found to go find these people is by getting in a helicopter and flying down the rivers and roads and looking for SOS messages or people waving us down. And then we drop down and get them. We have all these people here. We have law enforcement, we have state guard, National Guard. They have no way to go get these people. Yesterday, when I was at the Asheville airport refueling, which, by the way, the civilian is paying all this out of his own pocket. He's not even looking for a reimbursement. I think we did 4 refuelings yesterday.
Kudos to that guy, whoever he may be. He's anonymous. Like, these are some people just doing it out of instinct, just doing it out of kindness of their hearts, and they're anonymous. And then you have these other people that are pretending like they're taking the credit, like they're the ones that actually going out and saving people when they're not. It's just so slimy.
And that was like just in half a day's work. We're in Nashville, and I saw 2 Air Force helicopter 60s, and I knew they were PJs just looking at them. And I went up to them like, hey guys, like, what are y'all doing? And like, this is what you need to be doing. This is how I'm finding people. And they're like, we can't go. We're waiting on Title 10 orders.
Did you hear that? They cannot go because they're waiting on orders from the government. They're waiting on orders. Just let that sizzle in your spirit. During a time of survival, of helping people, of saving lives, these people cannot be dispatched, or they were not dispatched. They cannot leave, they cannot help because they have not been given the orders.
And I'm like, what? They can't get any authority. There's military helicopters all over here sitting on the ground, and they can't do nothing. Even my JSOC boys in Fayetteville, they can't get orders to come out here. It is just the most disgusting thing, and they're killing these people. And I don't know why they're doing it. I don't know what kind of conspiracy. I've heard so many things, whatever you want to come up with, but they are literally allowing these people to die in the mountains right now because we can't get helicopters. They got money for everything else in the world right now, but if they could just get us helicopters, we could fly out there and rescue these people. So I hope this video goes viral. I hope these politicians get fired. I hope people get pissed off.
I want to share with y'all some.
So again, this is another lady. I'm definitely going to let her cook in just a few moments, but it just lets you know that, again, there's so many balls that are being dropped, and I get it. It totally unanticipated. No one anticipated this. No one could have predicted this. Only God could have given insight concerning this. Because again, they've never had a hurricane. I think they said it's been over 100 years, something like that has ever happened in their region on record. So they did not anticipate, being they were so high up, that they would even be touched by the hurricane or the effects of it. They did not anticipate it. But the fact of the matter is that obviously wasn't the case. So the question then becomes, what do we need to fix it? What do we need to fix it? Then let's fix it. Let's save lives. Time is running out for many of these people. It's been over a week now. Time has ran out for many of these people. And it's like, it's very disheartening. It's, for just a lack of a better phrase, or just a lack of a better term, it's just disheartening to see that you have the means to help, but yet you're refusing to help. There's a scripture that says, how do you have this world's goods and withhold it? He said, how doeth the love of God dwelleth in you? You have something that people need. They need the choppers. Yes, we can donate millions upon millions, if not billions of dollars, to buy supplies, things of that nature. But without the proper equipment to go into these mountains and help these people get out, there's really nothing that our hands are tied. There's nothing we can do. We can't even get water unless we just drop. You can't even drop water unless there be, like you said, a helicopter. So at the end of the day, they need a helicopter. They need a whole lot of helicopters. And guess what? We have them. We have plenty of them. As a matter of fact, Virginia, North Carolina are notorious for having military bases. They have the equipment, they have the ability, they have the know-how, they have everything. So it's extremely sad and disheartening that they're not getting the help and the assistance that they need. And guess what? People are going to remember this on election day. People are going to remember this. And they don't care what you say about the other person. You had an opportunity to do something. You had an opportunity to show up. And for whatever the reason, The ball is being dropped. It's very sad. The people are not getting what they need. They're not. No, it's not being handled. It isn't, because they don't have what they need, and what they need are the helicopters. All right, let's listen to this one.
And things you may not know about what's happening in the North Carolina mountains in the aftermath of Helene. Here's number one. If you have friends or family that are headed into the mountains or who live there, the looting has picked up major steam. I was advised yesterday by a county sheriff to make sure that anybody out and about is carrying, and in his words, carrying with the safety off. There are very aggressive people out there, and I'm just going to go ahead and say this. It's not because they're necessarily awful. They're desperate. Desperate people do desperate things.
Wow. And it's sad that it has to come to that people are so hungry and so thirsty that they're going to do everything within their power to try to live. And if that means taking what you have, that means switching places with you, you know, doesn't it doesn't matter to some people, forget integrity, forget all of that stuff. They're going to throw all that stuff away, and they're going to do anything that they can to survive. And if that means hurt somebody trying to get what you have so that they can live longer, some people will do that. And as horrible as that may sound, that's the mindset of people that are trying to survive. Now, I don't think that I would do something like that, but again, I'm not in their shoes. Okay? And so I feel bad, and I feel sorry for those people. And that's why I'm like, listen, let's do everything within our power. We have the federal, we pay our taxes. Why not? Like, what is the problem?
Y'all. And why are they desperate? Because there's no water in some of these communities. We have neighbors in North Carolina with no water. And all I can say is this: the government ain't coming to save you. Not now, not ever, because they don't care about you, the people, anymore. It is the citizens who are going to have to step it up. Now, I got to tell y'all, I was floored yesterday by how my community, which is a little over an hour away from the affected areas, showed up at donation sites with water and diapers and formula and some liquid IV. I mean, y'all brought all kind of things: bleach, vinegar. You are ready to help, and we're going to take more donations today. Can I just remind y'all of something? You cannot eat money. You cannot drink money. So for those of y'all that thought money was your God, and by the way, that includes our freaking elected officials, it's not your God. Told my girlfriend this morning while we were talking about this during our run, I said, tell your children, 'cause she's got grown children, this is why you keep a stash of water on hand. This is why you keep a stash of food on hand. But for those of y'all that are not in affected areas, if you can take your donated items and send it to the mountains, then send it with a friend. Make sure you're sending truckloads so that we don't overload the roads, because our first responders are overwhelmed. By the way, thank you, Governor DeSantis, for doing more for North Carolina than North Carolina's governor has.
And it's sad that the governor isn't doing more. I get that the Governor DeSantis has more experience when it comes to hurricanes and relief, and North Carolina probably has absolutely zero experience. But this is still an opportunity for you to do something, right? Even if you don't know what to do, you can still call FEMA. Call the president, reach out to your representative, your congressman. I mean, do everything, boots on the ground. You're there handing out water, but you're trying to do something. You're trying to direct people on where to go, how to donate, how to get supplies. You're being strategic. If nothing else, you're putting on your freaking thinking cap to try to solve problems. But you're doing something. I get that the North Carolina government probably does not know how to handle this, because this can be overwhelming for anyone. So let's not pretend that this is something that happens all the time and the governor should know what to do. Now, let's just be a little bit considerate and just think for just a second. This has never happened in our lifetime. So of course the governor wouldn't know what to do per se, because this hasn't happened in our lifetime. So we get that. But at the same time, yes, he leaned on DeSantis. That's great. Florida knows, because Florida is often hit several times during the course of a year, and it's been increasing, as a matter of fact. So for their time for recovery is a little bit faster because they're so accustomed to what to do. They have all the insurances in place and they know what to do and stuff like that. These people don't even have adequate insurance to even cover the damage to their homes. Most of them don't even have a house at all at this point. So like it's crazy right now. So I'm not going to 100% dump on the government. You know what I'm saying, per se, when I say the government, meaning the governor. And then we talked about in the previous video about how around 2000 and what was it, 2003 is when it was George W. Bush, former President George W. Bush, that decided to merge FEMA with Homeland Security. Okay, that's when that happened. FEMA used to be independent, so that happened in 2003. So everybody's like, where is FEMA? Why isn't FEMA? Why is FEMA at border control? Because of what happened in 2003. It was President Bush that decided to merge FEMA with Homeland Security. FEMA should not be merged with Homeland Security. We need FEMA to be independent so FEMA can do what FEMA knows to do, which is to assist in emergency situations. The border may be an emergency situation, but y'all need to hire more people for Homeland Security. Those things need to be separate. They don't need to be together. And we're seeing situations like this that speaks to that. So I wanted to say that because we dealt with that in the last video. This is technically a part 2, but I just wanted to say that because it's true. So it's not this current president's fault per se, because he's not the one that made the call. That was done several presidencies ago. So again, George W. Bush is the one that decided to merge FEMA with Homeland Security. All right, that meant that every president afterwards, Obama, Trump, Biden, they again never changed it, but they're not the ones that caused that to be. Okay, all right. So none of them should be blamed for what the previous president did. But and however, he can make adjustments. If you see that it's not working and we need to make some adjustments, we need to shift, then do so. He has the authority as now the president to do something about it. Now that you see that it's not working, now that you see that and again, people are probably not even, oh, well, what kind of damage could it be? They're in the mountains because they weren't really reporting on it. It wasn't until like now, instead of the last 3 to 4 to 5 days, social media has been on their job. Shout out to all the YouTubers and the social media influencers and all the people that are on their social media pages making this stuff go viral. Shout out to you, because I promise you on everything, if it wasn't for people like you and people that are just constantly sharing and griping and complaining, they probably wouldn't do anything. Biden probably wouldn't know anything about it. They probably would try to cover this mess up. All right? Because again, nobody wants to be blamed. Nobody wants to accept the blame. They just want to just put it on somebody else. So yes, it is true. FEMA is a part of Homeland Security. So that's why they're at the border, because it's another agency that's connected to that agency. But what they need to do is understand that that probably is not the best decision. We need FEMA to be independent, and whatever needs to happen to make that happen, they need to do so. And that's why they're complaining about FEMA not having the resources, because they don't. FEMA's not the same FEMA that it once was. FEMA needs to be what it once was, and even better, because look at where we're going. Another hurricane is now being postured to hit Florida yet again. We may have other issues around the country that we're going to need an emergency response. So I think whoever is at the helm of all of this, which will be the president, he needs to decide what's in the best interest of our country and start making the necessary changes and stop giving all the money away at this point to other countries when we have to tend to our own backyard. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry. Let me get off my soapbox. Okay. For real, this is ridiculous.
I'm very grateful for your National Guard, because we have to help each other, y'all. And I'm going to tell you something. If you will share this with somebody who doesn't know what's happening in North Carolina, they need to know. They need to know that there are entire towns gone. Chimney Rock is gone. A beautiful town. Swannanoa, gone. Montreat, gone. Other towns damaged beyond repair. That means our geography has changed, our culture is at risk, but most importantly, our people, our generational people have lost their generational homes. This ain't about your granite countertops anymore. Listen, y'all, listen. Tell somebody how they can help. I am but one resource. There are people I know all over North and South Carolina that have been gathering up goods and trucks. Somebody as far away as Massachusetts putting a truck together. Let me know. I can connect you to where to take things. The Baptists are doing a great job out of Boone. Samaritan's Purse is on the ground. I trust those two organizations. I wish I had trust for more because I don't trust this government, but I trust the people of North Carolina. Y'all, the biggest thing you can do, pray. Pray right now. Pray fervently that people will turn their hearts back to God, and pray for a hedge of protection around all those who have seen things they should never have to see. I'll tell you one more story before I hang up this video.
She's going to talk about a little boy that saw dead bodies floating. It's just horrible. It really truly is. But listen, I really want to share some how to help. I want to share some places that you can go donate or you can volunteer to. Let me just share that right now. All right, let me just go to that. Let me just shift some things around. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. All right, so this is one place where you can donate. I've seen these people in videos, actually boots on the ground, and they are helping people. It's called Samaritan's Purse. It's an international relief organization. They're a relief that you can donate to. As you can see, they're right there, boots on the ground, helping people, right? And so please donate to them. It's hard because that's one of the things that we've been in prayer about, just really exposing like what nonprofits that are not helpful at all, that's not going to properly allocate the funds or really get it to people that need it the most, whether it be supplies or money. Because some of these people need to start a new life because clearly, like she said, these towns are no more. So they're going to need money. They're going to need that type of support. So yes, let's give to this organization, and I will try to find other organizations so that I can make a post. There's another one that I want to highlight as well. Let me see. All right, let me share this one. Here's another one. She's actually done a few YouTube videos right there. So you can go ahead and scan the QR code right there of how to help. They are receiving donations and they're buying supplies. She is a real estate agent, but she's actually helping out. And again, she's been noted as someone who's helping out. And I think that's her right there. Yep, that's her. And so, yeah, so that's her organization. She's also donating as well. So let's go ahead and be a blessing to those that need it. Right now, these people are in need. Right now, these people need support. And so, for those of us that are okay right now, let's give our $20. Let's give 50. Let's give what we can to help these folks so that they can buy the supplies, the water, whatever it is that they need, so that again, they can help these families. They're going to have to restart their whole entire lives. But it will be good to know that people cared enough to give. And I agree with what she says. Like, while people are waiting on the government to respond and figure it out, it's the citizens that are coming together that are saying, listen, I want to help. I'm going to help. If that's it. You know what I'm saying? And doing, everything within their wheelhouse, with everything within their power to assist these people in need. And to me, that is the spirit of any citizen. That is the spirit of any citizen, to help their neighbor. That is a great way to be. And you just never know where you will be, where your families will be later on in life, where you may need that courtesy. You may need that love. You may need that help. You may need that support. So that's how I look at it. I like to pay it forward because we just never know. I mean, you may have a situation where your house is burnt down to the ground. I just had a friend and their family, their house burnt down to the ground just out of nowhere. It just out of nowhere. And now they're having to start over again. And it wasn't, they just let everybody know. It was on the news and people just started giving immediately. It wasn't even with a question. It's like, where do you need it? Cash App, Zelle, like how can we give you what you need so that you can get a hotel, buy clothes, whatever you need. It's not even an afterthought. You know what I'm saying? And so that's how it should be, because again, you may never know in life when you may have a need. All right. So let's give. Let me just highlight again. Shout out to Leah Thomas Brown and her nonprofit and how they're assisting. And then shout out to the Samaritan's Purse as well. I have the links, in the description for you guys to go check it out, for you to go to these. And there's others. So if you happen to know organizations, private churches, or what have you, that are directly helping these people. Again, there's like 5 states that are impacted. I know people are focusing on North Carolina, and they're focusing on the people that are in the mountains, as they should, because some of these regions are like devastated. But there are other communities that are suffering as well. Again, 5 states that were impacted by this storm. So if you happen to know organizations that are directly helping their people or helping people in general, please let me know. Reach out to me. Make a comment, please. Make a comment in the comment section. Let me know so that I can spread the word. Because I want to help. I listen, that's just where my heart is. I just want to help, in any way that I can. So I'm going to make a donation tonight, a monetary one. And again, there's other folks that I know, other friends that I know that are helping out. They live in Georgia. They're going to North Carolina and they're donating as well. So there's so many different people that are doing the best that they can to help. And it's awesome, but it's just saddens me because the people that really have the equipment and the people that can really make a difference, unfortunately, they have their hands tied because of bureaucracy. And that's what sucks. Because people are literally dying, and it's not even, we're just, blowing this up and making this something that it's really not. There are literally people that are without water because there's no power, and a lot of their water is powered by electricity. And so they're dying of thirst, literally. Some, they don't have food because that's also spoiling. And these people are, heaven knows what's happening to them. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. So it's just so every minute really counts, you know what I mean? So for them to say they have to go through a process in order to respond to this type of emergency is a total letdown, in my opinion. And if I were them, I would feel away for sure. If I were them, I feel away for them. But if I was the people that were directly impacted by this and my government responded in this way, I would feel away too. I would definitely feel away, especially if you're the type of person that pays your taxes on time. It's no question. You do your part, and now it's your turn to get help, and they act like they don't even, that you don't even, you're not even existing. It's sad. So don't forget to like this video. So, many other videos are being made, of course, concerning this, but we want all the videos to kind of get legs. So feel free to like this one, make a comment. If you happen to know of any organizations that are directly helping, and not pocketing the money or whatever, please put it in the comment section. Share this if you feel inclined, and subscribe to the YouTube channels. Thank you again. And last but not least, let's remember to keep them lifted in prayer. All right. Prayers help, but just like the word says, faith without works is dead. We can have faith all day long, but let's give. Let's do something, right? Let's do something. This is how we can help. All right. Thank you again. I appreciate you. Have a blessed evening. And I'll share, I guess, the next time I feel inclined to share, or if there's some more information that comes my way, I'll be happy to share, so that I can do my part in bringing attention to this matter, in hopes that they're able to reach as many people as possible before it's too late, and that their lives may be spared. But thank you again for tuning in. You guys have a wonderful morning. It's now morning. Until next time. Bye.